Okay. Far out. This is a pain in the ass. I couldn't even go 10 minutes without it. That is whack. That is whack. That is whack as anything. Let me just. No, 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 no. Hey, hey, hey. Goodbye. Yeah, goodbye to that one. Goodbye to that one. It's funny. It's funny that, you. No, it wasn't even shut down. Like, it must have cut off on your end because we kept going on StreamYard, but yeah. Why doesn't YouTube salute Stormy and salute Volts? Why don't YouTube just take videos down of people just lying? Like, I'm talking about like deliberate shit. You know what I mean? Man, they got the stream down that quickly. Really? What is happening here? It ain't piracy, dude. Wow. Um, this shit is so annoying. I'm just gonna drop the link in and just. I'm just gonna drop the link in there. I might as well. That's ridiculous. Please don't tell me they've taken privileges away from having people on. Yeah, that's the other stream, no Volts. That's what I'm saying. So, at the end of the day, I mean, it doesn't matter. All right. Yeah, it said it wasn't working on my end, Tyrone. So,
yeah, I mean that's a real joke. I mean, boxing is dying, so they might as well get all the publicity they can. It's kind of like when Showtime, I pay for Showtime, and for me not to have access to the entire vault for fights is criminal.
it literally has 11 million views, and like, what's Joshua Klitschko got? Let me see.
7 million? Well, I said that was a while ago. I'd say maybe 16 million.
I think it's got 17.
Yeah.
19.
19. Okay, yeah.
But it's literally, it's caught up. It's caught, like, their fight caught up with Klitschko's. But,
what was it before? What's Wilder Fury one's how many fight? But that just got released this year.
In Feb. In Feb it got released. So that's 11. It's got 11 million.
Yeah, I mean it was just released this year, so.
Yeah, but that conjured up that many views already.
Yeah, so it'll probably tape around 12, 13.
Probably, yeah. Joshua Klitschko is almost at 20. Triple G going down? Maybe. Not
hope.
in that shape, though. All right, let me just see.
Wait, that might seem a bit biased, Tomas. You seem Polish.
Yeah, CBS have blocked it.
Okay.
Okay, cool. I don't have a strike or anything. Zurmeta has knife. I left glove. I don't know what he's saying. What is it? I think he might be Polish. Isn't that a Polish name? Tomas. Yeah. That must be Thomas Adamek. Adamek, whatever his name is. Oh, that was just stupid. That stream, like, dude, I'm promoting your freaking network and your.
Right. I mean, I remember what happened with boxing, Mr. Boxing today. He got footage of BJ Flores versus Trevor Bryan on a phone, uploaded it on his channel. It didn't even have any TV. It wasn't even shown on TV or anything. And Don King put out a strike against it, or his people did.
That's whack.
Can you believe that?
That is ridiculous. Seriously, unreal. Yeah, unreal. All shit's going on today, man. I mean,
Yeah.
you know.
But from what I saw, round one, definitely Wilder. Fury, well, I can't say Fury round two. I didn't see the rest of it, but I would. There wasn't much in it in round two, so I'd have to look at the rest of it.
I'm drunk. Sorry for my. Yeah, I can clearly tell. Yeah, Joshua Usyk is next. So yeah, I mean, we
Joshua
can
Usyk
talk
next,
about that. I mean, Hearn says, we could drop all the belts. Like, who takes that seriously though?
I don't know. No, he wouldn't, because they always talk about how hard they've worked to get them. They didn't work very hard at all.
Yeah, but I've seen channels like saying that, like he's worked hard to get them. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm having people still trying to discuss the resume thing and this and that. I don't know. They still want to bring it up, but Charles Martin was not hard work.
No. He might do something if he came in there serious.
Yeah, but that was then. Like,
Yeah.
back then it wasn't as good. But then you have Klitschko. Those belts were vacant. Those actual belts, they were vacant. The IBO and the WBA.
Yeah.
No one regards the IBO much, But then you've got who else? Parker. That was a good win. Wasn't the
Yeah.
most exciting. I liked it though, but that was probably the time where I could say yes, it was hard for him to get it because that was a good opponent. And then
Right.
you had Ruiz, he got it back there, and but that told me like he's fought like a gauntlet. You know what I mean? The gauntlet hasn't
Right.
been like monstrous. It's been difficult in spurts, but overall, it's
Fairly
not. I mean,
easy go of things. Yeah, no, like no choppy waters sort of a thing.
do you know what happened with the Ortiz situation?
The Ortiz's manager, I heard, turned it down or something,
No, not that one in
or a
2019.
promotional
I'm
company.
talking about 2016, 2017.
Oh yeah,
Because
they lied to him and said if you wait on Klitschko, because at that same time he promoted, or he did, but what happened was Scott Quigg, like at 126, was in the same sort of deal, right? He had an interim belt. They gave him a fight for the full one. He got a draw, and he was promoted to the actual champion anyway, right? So Luis Ortiz was interim champion. They basically went to Luis Ortiz and told him that if you wait, you will get the winner of Joshua Klitschko for the full belt. And he believed them.
yeah, sure. Well, Eddie Hearn just kept delaying that mandatory, and they let the IBF because there's a court system in place. It's WBA, it's
Right.
IBF, and it's WBO, right? But Hearn has that relationship with the WBA where he can just tell them what to do and they'll do it for him. So he kept delaying it. But notice with Povetkin, he was very eager
Oh, of course.
to
He
get
wants
that
to
one done. You understand? So that's why see if he thought Joshua could knock Ortiz out, the fight would have been made. But
yeah.
it's the same thing with Parker and White. That was the next in rotation in the court system. It was Ortiz's turn. And then he said, "Oh, can we let the IBF go first?" So pretty much they'll do whatever he tells them to do, pretty much. And he lost his chance, and yeah, he wanted Pulev because it was an easier fight. And it turned out, as it's happened now as well, to be an easier fight. It was, that's how people get robbed of opportunities. It's bad. It's bad for the sport. He's a problem, that guy. He really is. Oh man. Let's see this chat. Yeah, Hearn is a problem. Yep. What do you think about Gassiev? No. Gassiev at heavyweight? No. No way. I believe Smith could upset Canelo Saturday. I mean, it's going to take a lot. What do you think, Tyrone?
For what? Canelo versus Smith?
Yeah, Smith to upset Canelo.
Probably not.
I mean, if he catches him on the end of his punches, maybe keeping it long. But, the size difference should matter, but I don't think it will. I think Canelo's just going to find his way in. Very few people I see more relaxed in that ring than him. He's built for that. Like he's going to chop that guy down, and he might get a late stoppage or just from the 6th round onwards. It will just be domination to the points victory, in my opinion. What do you think? What do you think, Tyrone?
Yeah, I guess it'll be like a feeling out process the first couple of rounds before he finally gets on the inside. I mean, I want to see him versus like Charlo. Like, I want to see him at 160, man. Not all of the. This is masquerading at these other weights. It's like picking easy guys and then coming back down, and then getting an easy money and then coming back down. Like, that's annoying.
I just think the guys holding belts in like each division, like without
They
even
jumped on that WBC opportunity when he couldn't make weight.
Oh man, because now he's getting older, and it's going to be harder for him to. Because he said he's not cutting down to 160.
No, he should get back down to 160.
As a fan, I'm owed that fight with Canelo and Charlo, but we're not going to get it because he already ducked him. So if it it's the same with Dillian White. He's saying he wants Wiley. He's saying he wants Ortiz, but he doesn't want them because he's already avoided them anyway.
We'll see. If as long as they pay the money. He's talking about it like it's going to be what they're looking at February.
Yeah, he's coming back.
He didn't even take a breath in his last fight, so he should be ready to go as long as he didn't eat too much. Let's see if they're really serious about this Ortiz fight. If I was Ortiz, I would jump on this opportunity if I was given it. So let's see what happens.
Oh man, I mean, I don't know who that is, Thomas.
Cherkeshian, and I've never heard it. I know Fedor Chudanov, but that's it. Let me read this chat. Actually, I'm sorry. What's up, Mo Boxing? Sean Thompson, Stormy B Man. What's up? Thomas Vaults UK. Yep, go ahead. Had to interject there.
No, good. That's your micromanagement.
Yep.
The thing with that, right, is I am just starting to really dislike White now.
Right.
Um, at the same time, I like in terms of Ortiz. He didn't breathe in his last fight,
Yeah, he didn't. Oh man,
and he looked in good
how many
shape.
steps did he take? Maybe like 8 or 9 total steps.
Man,
I
he's
mean,
still
literally, you could
that
break it
guy.
down to that that little amount of effort. Like in that last, he literally did not do anything but maybe throw 6 total. I mean, like literally. I mean, it's not his
I
fault,
mean,
but that opponent was poop.
it's just yeah. Look, man, I'm telling you, it really is in White's. The ball is in White's court now, man. It's you
Time to
know,
put the money up.
just take it, man. Sorry,
All
but
right,
like,
give me one
just
second.
I just really want that fight. Like, I wanted that in 2018, and he just avoided it like the plague. It's just I want that. Are we gonna get it? I don't think we're gonna get it. I don't think we'll get that fight at all because he just doesn't want it. he literally accepted the purse bid, and when he found out who it was, he pulled out. So by pulling out, he showed his true colors. He went and fought Parker, and again, White was already in camp. They got him on late notice, and the rest is history. He's saying that everyone wants to fight him now because he's in a bad position. Well, not really. I mean, you were never really in the best position anyway. You offered nothing. All you really offered was the back of Joshua's name. By having Joshua's name, it was like, oh, if you can beat White, then you're worthy of beating Joshua. But that, to me, is just ridiculous. If that fight happened a year or two ago, I would favor Ortiz. The reason why it's harder now is because, Ortiz is older. All good. Ortiz is older, and
Yes.
White
Yeah.
is the naturally bigger man.
Yeah.
So I just don't know what White like. I don't see White being able to land his jab like he did on Povetkin, like he did with Ortiz.
Oh
It's
no,
really just
it's not
it's
going down
really
like
just
that.
it's really just Ortiz not getting caught. You know,
Yeah.
because the only punch he can really get hit with is that hook or the hook to the body. I don't think the right hand would land because just positioning wise, it's not gonna I don't think it's gonna happen. But Ortiz can win now. Still, it's just the age for me and just the punch resistance.
Right. Time is running out, and
I said months ago. I said just go for Manuel Char. Just get him.
yeah, but that's like that guy will, like I say, he'll only come out to play if big money is on the table.
Well, he should. I'm sure Al could sort out something. But again, I'm not a businessman. But
I
I
don't
don't know,
know
man.
how much he wants for that, but it's definitely minimum. I could say he nothing less than $1 million.
Nothing less than that.
Yeah,
He's
nothing
asking for
less than
more
that.
than that.
Yeah, I don't think he'd want anything less than that, because if he did, then he would have fought by now. He hasn't fought in over 3 years.
He's
In
there
over
for the
3
taking.
years.
See, that's what Dillian should do. You know what I mean? If Dillian wants to be world champion so bad, get him then. I'm sure Eddie Hearn can, you know. Something about AJ letting belts go. He's not letting belts go,
I
man.
don't believe it. Yeah.
What? He'd be so stupid to do that, and he's not even said he would let them go. That's Eddie Hearn's words.
They always talk about how hard they worked for them.
You haven't worked that hard, dude. That's what
Exactly.
I'm saying. Let me bring this up. Ortiz is a better fighter than Povetkin. He can still beat White within the next 3 years. He probably could.
I
Because
thought the Stavern who went in there and beat Areola would have beat Povetkin had that fight gone ahead.
yeah,
For sure.
he would have hit him.
He
off a
takes a better.
break or
And that's why I choose my words carefully with that, because I was excited to see that fight, because when he came in with Wilder, he was in the best shape of his career, but he just kind of held his gloves up. You know, I mean, because he couldn't get past the jab. But if it was like an inside fight, like he's used to, yeah, I thought he would have beat Povetkin. He would have been the favorite. I think he was actually odds favorite going into that fight, even though it was tight. Let me see Stiverne Povetkin odds actually.
Stiverne is coming back.
Oh no.
Yeah, he's coming back. Let me actually check his social media profile. I agree with Stormy. You know, it's just really the style matchup for me. Like, he could literally box him around in circles. You know.
What was it? What did they say?
Peps want Wilder. Why? Who's Peps? I don't know who Peps is. Yeah, there's a picture of him sparring. 2021, he's coming back. But who would he fight? That's the thing. Who would Stiverne fight?
Was Stiverne really a plus 600 in that fight? I thought the odds were closer than that. I swear they were.
That's the one people say Stiverne tested dirty. He didn't test dirty. He needed something to help him with his urine, and he had
no. It was Povetkin who did.
No. Both of them had an issue, but Povetkin was juicing illegally, whereas Stiverne had taken something and he provided medical forms to say, I need this, like, so I don't, have an issue with something internal. Yeah.
Did they legit have Stiverne as a 6-1 in that fight?
I'm not sure.
Which Stiverne were they picking? The one who fought Wilder in 2017?
No, because
yeah, I know, because it was earlier. It was end of 2016 when that fight was supposed to be made. I guess because of the time off and that he got dropped by Derek Rossi.
Yeah, that's probably why. And
but Stiverne, who beat Areola would beat up Povetkin.
I reckon. I mean, I could see. I don't know, what was it? I could see him running into a punch, like Povetkin, like circling, and then boom. Or I could see Stiverne hitting to the body, and then, dude, he hit so hard. I don't think people realize.
It was good when he fought Areola. I know there wasn't much competition. there, but Stiverne was good though.
Hey, what's up? Sorry about your other stream getting shut down. No, it's fine. It's not your fault, IBT. That's cool. Yeah, I'm trying to promote, and that's what I get, but I don't care, man. I was gonna really put a copyright strike on someone yesterday, but I thought, you know what? I can't be bothered putting my full legal name in and everything, and I couldn't be bothered.
Was that a hater channel?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I don't give a shit though. But you know what, man? That would have been a good fight. I would have liked to have seen it. I really would have. It would have been a fun fight. I don't think Povetkin would be able to knock Stiverne out with a big uppercut, because Stiverne has a better guard than, like, let's just say, a Dillian White. He's quite good at blocking, not just with his face, as people like to say, but yeah. Yeah, it was like 4 years ago, 2016. It was an interim title fight as well. Yeah, there's the face off here as well. It was gonna happen. Where was it gonna happen, in Russia?
It was supposed to be in Russia, right?
Yeah, Russia. And then I think he fought Duopal. I really would have liked this fight. This would have been a good fight. You know?
I would have liked the fight. I thought it should have been a bit earlier as well. Like if it was end of 2015, right after he had lost to Wilder.
What did he pop for as well? Let me just see.
The same thing, I think.
Let me see. No, oh, hold on. Let me I gotta get to my guy. Let me see. Because he knows the full details of it. Because they're saying Stavern tested positive, but they're lying. Let me just see this. He's Haitian, Stavern as well.
Yeah, I know that.
Y'all talking. I can never pronounce that properly. The topic right now, we're talking about a fight that was cancelled years ago. Stavern and Povetkin.
Stavern was anything like the one that fought Areola, he would have beat Povetkin. Damn, he was a 6-1. Wow. I don't know if my memory was just foggy or what, but
I'm just
not. That was not a 6-1 fight. I don't think.
Let me just see this. I'm trying to look at this. Where is it, man?
How to hear Stavern chat? What do you mean, Jimmy Bullard? Jimmy Bullard, I think you're thinking about the Stavern, the Wilder 2 Stavern. That guy was a joke. Go back to a 2014, please, and look at Stavern versus Areola. I mean, those guys are totally different fighters. Stavern Wilder 1 was different as well. I just don't. I didn't feel like he was. I don't know. I think the jab kind of really bothered him, but if you look at the scales, he was in career best shape for that fight. I don't really believe in this. I was old, dehydrated. How are you dehydrated at heavyweight?
Salute, Blackstar.
Huh, Watcher?
No, I I shouted out someone in the chat. Blackstar.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What's up, Blackstar?
Out of here. Yeah, he's out.
Dehydrated for that fight.
That's just an excuse.
I don't know how you could be dehydrated at heavyweight.
It was just an excuse. That's all. Stavern was a good amateur as well.
Yeah, he beat Helenius. He beat a couple of people in the amateurs, didn't he? I don't know if he fought David Price. Let me search up his amateur career.
I think he might. I think he did. Actually, I got the video. It's on my channel. The video's on my channel. He was nailing him with overhands constantly.
Yeah. Stavern was solid after the Areola fight. It just kind of all went downhill after that. Especially the Stavern Wilder 2. I mean, that was a joke. No lie there. I mean, how do you go up like that for a heavyweight title fight?
It was mandatory, so he had to take it.
Otherwise, yeah, I know, but what I mean, that Stavern there was just like, who is that?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was really, really bad.
Yo, got a link for the boy IBT. Yeah, it's in the chat. You'll see it. Scroll up, man.
But Jimmy Bullard and Yeah, for anybody who is not familiar with Stavern pre-Wilder, I would suggest to be familiar with Stavern pre-Wilder. Pre-Wilder, pre-Wilder 1, Wilder 1, sort of Stavern. Right, because after
Hey,
Wilder 1 and the time off, he just kind of spiraled out of control.
just quickly before I bring IBT in, Black Star, I got your email. I'll see if I can hop in, but those are some good topics, man. Topic number 1 is gonna get me fired up. Topic number 7, and definitely topic number 6. So if I can get in, I will. So thank you for that, Black Star. I appreciate it. Welcome.
Yo, what's up, guys? How you guys doing?
Oh, good. What's
Man.
up? How are you?
Doing well. Do you guys looking forward to this weekend's fights?
Oh yes.
Yeah, I guess something to watch. Yeah,
Oh God.
in a way.
I am. I'm looking forward to Canelo.
I don't know.
Yeah, me too.
I have to look at the undercard.
I'll say the undercard is not it's not super strong. It would have been stronger, but unfortunately, Martinez had to pull out, right? But still, I think the main event is tremendous. I think Frank Sanchez is a really good fighter. He's pretty sure he's going to be on the undercard. You got a lot of prospects on the undercard, so you're going to see a lot of prospects and then Canelo fighting.
Frank Sanchez. Who's he? Are they finding him?
He's a heavyweight prospect. He's
No, I know he is. He
okay.
fought a heavyweight guy last time out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's fighting on the undercard unless something changed. I'm checking right now.
Yeah, this undercard doesn't set the world on fire.
No, certainly not. I think it was. I
was
mean,
thinking
didn't have too long to make it. You know what I mean?
it's
And the other title fight that they did have, they had to pull out, unfortunately.
yeah, this thing is it looks like a showcase. The PBC one the other time was horrible as well. I was talking to Watcher about that. I feel they might have different strategies, some of these pay-per-view cards, but the end result is the same. They just want to save money for the main event. Like PBC, what they've done recently is what they do is they'll put a whole bunch of 120 pound, 126 pound, and 130 pounders, bantamweight guys. Usually the fights are, non-starters or don't have any real consequence, so that they can pay each of them maybe $20,000 a piece, if that, probably less. So it saves money for the main event. But this is different, but still trash at the same time. Up and comers versus, no chancers, I guess.
Let me see if there's any good. I mean, there are some good step ups, but I understand you're saying like you would favor the prospect. They're more like challenges than I think supposed to beat them. Yeah, I can agree with that.
If I think a good pay-per-view would have 3 fights of consequence, like 3 solid fights that could probably stand alone or be co-mains. If you have 3 solid fights, then the rest of it, I guess you can say is okay.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I like to see like 2 title fights, maybe like an eliminator or something, and then some prospects, right? Just kind of evened out. You get to see some up and coming talent. You get to see what's coming soon. You get to see what's happening now. That kind of thing. I agree. But yeah, like I'm saying, this card was supposed to have that, but then a lot of fighters had to pull out due to various reasons. Like this was supposed to have 2 title fights, but Martinez had to pull out. I think Sanchez is still on the card. I'm looking now. I know there's some good prospects in Alexis Espino, Diego Pacheco is supposed to be on there. Amma Williams is supposed to be on there. Mark Castro making his debut, but this card isn't pay-per-view, obviously, right? It's just a DAZN subscription, so that's why I'm not too mad. I mean, I'm already subscribed to DAZN, so this is basically just bonus for me.
I was going to jump on their pay-per-view for this thing, but from what I've read, it's not so much a pay-per-view. What is it? It's they lock you. It's basically essentially having you to buy 4 months of the zone outright, pretty much.
So are you already subscribed to DAZN?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay, so that's why. I think if you're not subscribed, there's a cable option for people who don't want to use the app, I guess. And with the cable option, it's $60, but you also get 4 months of DAZN. So you
Okay.
get this fight and 4 months, right?
Yeah, so it's basically locking people in for 4 months. So it's not a real pay-per-view.
Yeah, it's like yeah, exactly. Because it's not like you're paying for the one event. You're paying for
4 months.
a third of a year. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll also include the Ryan Garcia fight. That'll include the potential Jojo Diaz or Patrick Teixeira fight. That'll include the potential Juan Francisco Estrada versus Roman Gonzalez fight. So you get a lot of good fights in that deal. I'm not mad at it. I mean, I'm already subscribed, so it doesn't affect me too much. But I'm glad it isn't actually pay-per-view because that's what people were saying at first, and as details came out, turned out it's not payper-view.
Yeah, I looked at the article myself, so I saw pay-per-view. I was like, oh, look who went to pay-per-view. But I read it, and it's just people. They're just getting 4 months outright, which isn't really pay-per-view. They haven't moved to that sphere yet. I don't know if they will or not because they're subscription based, but I mean Showtime subscription based too. I somehow still pay for Showtime, believe it or not. I pay through Spotify, so it just kind of gets bundled in there. But I've only been happy with the Jaron Ennis cards because not really the card, but just Jaron Ennis. But
Yeah. I mean,
Colbert was pretty good last time out last week. I thought it was pretty good. Colbert is really good, actually. I think.
Yeah, it was a good fight. But who's the main event for that one? It is not Ennis. It's it was gonna be Donaire versus Rodriguez. Yeah, it was gonna be Donaire versus Rodriguez, but Donaire they pulled him out.
I saw what Donaire put out there. They said he tested positive. He asked to pay for a retest. They said no. He went and retested himself, and he's negative. So it could be
4 times.
I think. Who did they parachute in?
Raymart Gaballo. He's a 23, 20 knockouts, 24-year-old Filipino fighter. He's fought in the States a couple times before. He's not bad at all. This is I think it'll be a pretty good fight. I'm favoring Rodriguez, but it's now for the interim WBC title. So originally it was going to be Ubali versus Donaire, then it turned into Donaire versus Rodriguez, and then it turned to Rodriguez versus Gaballo. So neither the original two fighters are fighting, but it's still going to be the main event. Then you also have Gary Antonio Russell versus Juan Carlos Payano in a 10-rounder on the undercard. That's another good fight.
That's a solid fight, especially where Antonio Russell is at his career. I think, what is he, 28, 29 years old? He's been fighting guys who, he's and
low-level opposition. He's 27. He's 27. This is a big step up, in my opinion.
Yeah, it would be for him.
Yeah.
He should win if he gets past this. Maybe he could. He may have been able to fight the winner of a Rodriguez Donaire if that had gone ahead. I mean, the loser. Sorry.
Yeah, I agree. That's. I mean, if you get past Payano, I say you're at that level, right? Payano's a bit of a tough one. Even though he is, I think he's 1-3 in his last 4 fights. You want to look at the types of opponents he's been fighting, right? It goes 1-1 with Rashi Warren. Has 2 fights in between. Beats Mike Plania. Loses to Inoue in the WBSS. Beats Damian Vasquez. Loses a competitive fight, but he gets stopped against Luis Neri. And most recently on the Charlo pay-per-view, he lost a competitive decision versus Roman. So he's not really an easy night out for any of these guys, except maybe Inoue, you could say, just because of how early he stopped him.
Did they count that knockdown, by the way, at the end of the round?
No. I don't think it ended up counting. But yeah, Roman did knock down Payano in like the last seconds of their fight. But yeah, he's a tough customer, and if Russell isn't the truth, he's gonna get exposed, right?
Yeah, if he isn't yet. What else do they have? I thought Donaire would have beat. Well, on the current form, I was thinking that Donaire would beat Rodriguez. What was the odds for that fight?
For which one? Sorry.
Rodriguez Donaire.
Oh, I don't know the odds. I do think Donaire was favored though, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I can check.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Wait, Watcher, are you there?
Yeah, watch you there. What's up, man?
Yeah, I'm good. No, I'm good. I'm just letting you guys, you know.
The debate, or not debate, the conversation to the lower weight classes.
Yeah, let's get
Oh,
back up to
man.
the heavyweights for watchers'
I
sake.
know I say I'm not a fan of the midget weights, but I seem to know a decent amount about them.
You know freaking a lot about them. That from what it sounds like.
I watch them from time to time, and good old handy box rec will give me a good account. I know that. Oh yeah, that was the fight because I know IBT. Yeah, whenever I talk with IBT, it's about these weights. End of the year, is it going to be in Macau again? Kazuta Ioka versus Kosei Tanaka.
Yeah, that's December 31st in Japan. I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good fight.
What happened to Donnie Nites? What's his thing?
Donnie recently signed with MTK Global, and they're
Yeah.
trying to find a fight for him. There's about 3 opponents they have in mind, and they're negotiating. You know how it is.
Yeah, and then they've got who is it? The Wasim guy. He's out in action again. In
Yeah,
Pakistan. I'm kind of all over the place, but yeah, I guess we can go back up to the heavyweights.
yeah. Any big heavyweight fights coming up soon? I'm trying to think.
I hope this Ortiz White thing goes ahead. I think.
Oh yeah, yeah. That'd be interesting for sure. What do you guys make of that? Dillian Wyatt versus Luis Ortiz.
Oh. Uh, with Ortiz, right? I'm really big on his skill set, but time is running, and I don't know. You couldn't really judge anything from his last fight because he threw a punch, a guy went down.
Yeah, well, he threw a punch, didn't even land all the way, and the guy went down, right? But whatever.
That Flores guy, I was telling you, Watcher, I said would be just horrible. But like, I thought in the Hammer fight, I thought he would blow Hammer away, but it wasn't like a ridiculously difficult night's work, but it just was like labored. I felt the Wilder Ortiz 2 performance was much better. I know how people would say it wasn't, but I thought he did pretty good in the Wilder Ortiz.
I agree with you.
And
We're back in a sec. Hold on.
so I don't know which Ortiz is gonna show up for this White fight. I think if it's Ortiz, like a measured Ortiz, I think he could beat White. I think he could probably beat White. Just the age is the only X factor with Ortiz.
Yeah, I'm wondering with the
40, 46, 47. I think he's like 46. That's my honest opinion.
Yeah, I forget. I remember you guys know MMA fighter Yoel Romero, right?
Yep. Yeah, he's going to Bellator.
Yeah, that's cool. But he was saying he was 41 on when he went on the Joe Rogan podcast. So I guess you just got to go back to when that was, and then add the years since then. But I mean, regardless of his age, he looks like he's in. I mean, he's in good shape still. He's still a talented fighter. Although his gas tank isn't quite there anymore, right? I don't think he's in his prime. Certainly not. He's still good, and he's demonstrated that he is a good boxer, especially in the Wilder performances and in the Hammer fight, right? Even though Hammer isn't like an elite win, Hammer's not a he's kind of a he likes to make things harder than you expect them to be, right? Like Povetkin went the full 12 with him. Most recently, Tony Oka went to 10 rounds with him, and people thought he didn't look so good. So, I mean, Hammer does that to a lot of people. I want to see Ortiz versus a top 10 heavyweight, someone who's good, solid, someone's proven, and I think Dillian White is exactly that. And I think a win over either of each other, you know what I mean? Like if White beats Ortiz or Ortiz beats White, it's a tremendous win for either of them. So, especially at this point in their career, Ortiz coming off of that loss and then that 1-round knockout, and White coming off of that loss, that knockout where he was looking very good against Povetkin until he got stopped. So
yeah, I thought he was looking pretty. I thought he was looking pretty solid, to give him credit, against Povetkin. I just feel, oh man, thing is, Povetkin is in a bad situation because, okay, yeah, he did beat him, but his age, and he's already had plenty of title opportunities.
You're talking about Ortiz?
Povetkin.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't have really much, he doesn't have any other place to go other than a White rematch.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to give Hunter a rematch. Who else is available really at a top level? Joseph Parker, but they can say, why you fight Joseph Parker when you can fight White? So if it's not for a title, and all the titles are probably going to be wrapped up, he needs to eventually fight White. If I was White, I couldn't live with myself about not getting that one back. I have to fight that guy again, no matter what.
I think like what happened?
You were saying?
Watch, are you there? What's up?
No, you go ahead, man. Go ahead. You were speaking.
I guess. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay. I was just gonna say, from what I heard, the plan was that they fight Ortiz early, and then they fight Povetkin like 3 months later, right? So Wyatt wants to remain extremely active. I think he's had a big change in mindset, just in terms of fitness and being in shape for fights, right? I thought he looked phenomenal. Like I genuinely thought he looked really, really good versus Povetkin, but it's just that reoccurring weakness, the he's prone to uppercuts, right? We've seen it versus obviously AJ. We saw it versus Parker. We saw it versus even Chisora, but to a little lesser extent. We saw it versus Oscar Rivas. He dropped him with that same uppercut. And Povetkin, he's known for his hooks and his uppercuts. He's a tremendous boxer. He's got a deep amateur pedigree, extensive professional resume. So even though Povetkin was on his last legs, he's still got a lot of muscle memory, and he just timed him very perfectly. He caught him out, and I think White's a good fighter. It was just, it was just Povetkin had his moment. He had his punch. He placed it well. He could fight Ortiz and then fight Povetkin because from what I heard, Povetkin was out due to his sickness, right? So he needed more time to recover. Their solution is that instead of having him wait around for Povetkin to recover, he fight Ortiz and then Povetkin once he's fully ready to go.
Hopefully Ortiz is good to go too. I hope he doesn't, he didn't spend, when was he out? First week of November. It's been a month and a week, I guess, so 5 weeks. Hopefully he didn't eat too much and he can get back and he should be ready to go, because as long as the money's put up, he should take it, because it would be horrible for Ortiz to go down as somebody who just, had 2 fights with Wilder. I think he needs to be given an opportunity to do more. It's sad that it came so late, but yeah, yes, yeah.
I know what you mean. Like to me, it would be a travesty if Luis Ortiz retired 0-2 versus top 10 fighters, right? Even though his resume doesn't really reflect it, I do think he's skilled. I don't know if he's top 10 right now. I think he's kind of got something to prove after that second loss. So that's why I want to see him in there with someone like a White, a Parker, right? Even if he does lose again, at least we'll know, hey, he's good, but he just lost. Like, it happens. But I just want to see him in there with with other good fighters in the division because I saw the Wilder fight, I saw the second Wilder fight. Now I want to see how does he do versus a Wyatt, versus a Hunter, versus Reese, versus a Pavetta. Any of those guys. That'd be really cool to see. Even in Kaunaki, I think that'd be a pretty neat matchup. Although I think he'd beat Kaunaki comprehensively.
Yeah, Kalmaki is gearing up to fight Hellenius again. But first time I saw Ortiz was when he fought Coyote. Now, cruiserweight at the time wasn't, all that. It still isn't all that. But, Tarver was a deal at cruiserweight, back then. Granted, he was on his way out, and he was able to get a draw against him, It's all according to Boxer, right? Had him at the top of the cruiserweight list before Coyote moved up. And for Ortiz to just blow him away like that, I was like, okay, who is this guy? So then I saw him on more Golden Boy cards. I saw him versus that Matias Ariel Vidando, where he had that guy screaming after he knocked him out.
Yeah.
And then I thought the Brian Jennings win was good. I thought the Tony Thompson win was funny.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was certainly something.
The Malik Scott performance, oh my god. Dave Allen, but
like C-level wins, right? Like not the Brian Jennings win I'd say is more than C-level, but the Thompson, Scott, and Allen, those are like decent wins, nothing tremendous. But I get what you're saying.
Was a B win at the time.
Which one?
The Brian Jennings one was like a B win.
Yeah. I'd say even now, Brian Jennings to me is like a what's the word I'm looking for?
Gatekeeper.
Yeah, but like an elite gatekeeper, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like if you can beat Jennings, you're good. Like how many people have beat Jennings? Who are they? Klitschko, Ortiz, Rivas,
Joyce. On his way to losing that fight. It was going to be a tight decision before the knockout.
Yeah, exactly, right? So
that's
all four of those guys are like top 10 heavyweights at one point or another.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
I just felt like that. Shit, I don't know why he believed Eddie Hearn at the time. You step aside and let this Klitschko Joshua fight happen. You'll get the next shot. You didn't. It's funny how Scott Quigg got a draw and literally got upgraded to full WBA titleist, but Ortiz didn't even.
Yeah, it was just the interim.
If Ortiz had turned pro earlier, that's like all ifs and that's, But he turned pro at like 30. He literally was like kidnapped in Mexico or something like that on his way here. At gunpoint, a big 6'4" guy. Just like.
Hey, Tyrone. Tyrone, imagine that, like doing that with Ortiz, and he's like, motherfucker. Like, you know how he called out Wilder that time?
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine that? Oh my god, dude! I'd be freaking. If I was the gunman, I'd be scared, man.
That's probably why they let him go. They couldn't control him.
Nah, man. Well, Ortiz is like, I want to fight you. I want to fight you.
You want to fight me? Yeah.
Shit. He's just a scary dude, man. Like, man, look, White's not going to fight him. He's not. I'm sorry. Listen, if there's so much talk about it right now that it convinces me that nothing serious is being negotiated. On that side, anyway.
White they literally gave him. What did Brazil say? Brazil said, I'll fight you and I'll put my mandatory on the line. I mean, that is like so easy money. Like Brazil is really no consequence for, a top 10 fighter who's
another gatekeeper type, right?
Yeah. Brazil is easy, I think. That literally that was a gimme. Like, why not take that? Like, I didn't get that. And then you end up fighting Chisora the second time. And they're really looking to do a Chisora trilogy. That's
You
really
know,
a big idea, I think.
oh, don't you worry. I've got on good authority that is going to happen down the line somewhere.
Yeah.
But I reckon the next guy that Dillian White is going to fight will
He'll
either
be
be
a tune-up.
Brecken
He'll be a tune-up.
or Martin Bacoli.
Interesting.
It will be Martin, I think.
But I think he'll be too much for him. I think the Kuzman fight was much closer than I think it was. I think that one judge had it good, 96-94, but they tried to score it wide for Bacoli. I mean, it was Kuzman's fault for not coming in shape. I mean, what did he weigh in at?
He
Goodness.
has taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15 photos of his belt since winning that international title.
Martin Bacoli, did he?
Yeah, it's on his Instagram.
Oh,
But
no.
it would make sense for him to fight Dillian because it's a lot he can get from it, and that belt will kind of give him. Oh, there's even a picture with him and Makabu. Yeah, I knew they were related
They're
somehow.
brothers or cousins or something like that.
Blessed family, he says.
He's supposed to have an easy touch as well, but that's not. I don't blame him for that. He's fighting some guy from Nigeria. Makabu is defending his title again. I don't. I
Big
mean,
brother.
he's had a semi hard road. Not well. He hasn't had
It's
it.
his brother, man. It's his brother.
Yeah, it is his
Yeah.
brother.
What's his amateur record, Martin Bacoli?
I
gotta
didn't.
look at it.
I don't think he has like much amateur experience, if any.
I do like his combinations. I just think he's there to be hit.
Ilunga Makabu.
No, not just him. Martin, 17-0 as an amateur.
Okay, yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't have.
I'll be back in a few minutes. You guys chop it up, all right?
Wait. I'm gonna switch to my laptop.
Oh, good.
'Cause I'm
I'll be
on my
back
computer.
soon. 5 minutes.
All right, sounds fine. Let me just
All right. Let's find Martin Bacoli here. 15 pictures with this belt. God. You're right. And the new WBC International Champion. You see here. Watcher, I think you might have to let IBT back in. You see here. See here.
All right, I'm back. Yep.
Yeah, what's up?
I think you have to let IBT back in. That's what he said on the private.
Yeah, yeah. Right when you left, I switched to my laptop, so I think it's just been silent for a couple minutes.
Yeah. Is that Grand Theft Auto in the background?
Yeah, man. They're after me, but
Nah. Man, I'm getting phone calls from this. Who's messaged me on WhatsApp? Ah, you have. Okay. Why is this girl calling me? Are you there, Ty?
maybe now he's left.
No, because he messaged me. He messaged me a
Uh,
minute ago.
is your mic muted?
I didn't mute him. He's muted his mic. Had to go get Diet Crush.
He had
Yep.
to.
You had to go get it. Hey, IBT, I know you're a fan of the low weights. About a week ago, I was watching Roman Gonzalez because I haven't watched the guy much. I didn't know much about him, so I watched him, and I've become a bit more of a fan. I can tell you that.
Yeah, very very entertaining fighter. Wonderful combination puncher. That guy is very aggressive. Good boxer as well. I think he's he's a great fighter.
Who's this?
Yeah.
Talking about Roman Gonzalez.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chocolatito.
He's found his way again. I'll say that. As of recently, he destroyed Caliafy, which was pretty good. It was a really good win. He could beat Estrada again. I
He
know
could.
people are making Estrada out. Estrada's been really good so far, right? But he is beatable. I mean, and had Quadras been, it's all ifs, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think I think I think I get you what you're getting at. I guess.
Right.
All these guys are really good, but they're also close in level, right? So even though Quadras isn't as good as Estrada, he still had his moments because he's a
Yeah.
good fighter, former champion, all that. To me, even though I'm picking Estrada, I think it's a real 50-50 fight between those two.
Yeah, Chocolatito. I think Chocolatito can summon what he did to him the first time.
Yeah, well, I would say he could do that, but then I would say that the Estrada of now is better than the Estrada back then. I mean, that
Yeah.
was his first top opponent, and it was Roman Gonzalez, like in his prime. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be tough for both of them.
Where's Roman from? I can't pronounce the country.
Nicaragua.
Man, that's in the middle of nowhere.
It's
Yeah.
in
Latin America, like right in the middle.
Yeah. He's a small dude, but I'll tell you what, he's got a lot of knockouts. Ooh, he's got a lot of knockouts.
Yeah.
yeah. What fights did you watch out of curiosity?
Who did I watch? I think I watched one back in 2016. I think it was Quadras.
Yeah, that was a good fight.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I
Did you
just
see
like-
the Rungvisai fight?
I haven't seen his losses or anything. All
The Rungvisai, the second one was crushing. Goodness.
Yeah.
I saw that one. I was like, wow. I thought Rungvisai was just like, okay, this guy. He got away with one the first time with Estrada. Then the second fight was kind of more of the same. But I felt he lost the second fight by a wider margin. But it was
much wider.
They had it closer on the scorecards.
Yeah, I agree. I had that fight maybe like 9-3, 8-4.
Yeah, like 8-4. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And they had it like pretty close, I think. But yeah, those are like the big four that have all fought each other multiple times. You have Srisaket Sorangvisai, two-time former WBC champion. You have Carlos Cuadras, former WBC champion. You have Chocolatito, four-division champion, and obviously former champion of super flyweight. And then Estrada, two-division champion, former unified at flyweight. So all those guys have fought each other, and I think they have. I think Rungvisai's record is 3-2, and then Estrada's record is 3-2. Chocolatito's record is 2-2, and Cuadras is 1-3. But Cuadras beat Rungvisai when he was a champion, so that win has aged very well.
Something.
What's up?
It was stopped by a cut.
Yeah, it was a TD,
Yeah,
ninth round, I think.
Yeah, they had to go to the decision. Kaliafai was found out. I was laughing about that.
Yeah, he's not a bad fighter, but definitely not on the same level.
I heard he got beat up by Jamie McDonald in sparring. He got dropped over there, and that was years ago. But it did come back to haunt him, I guess. Akira Yagashi fight was a breakout fight for Gonzalez on HBO. I kind of put him on. I wouldn't say put him on the scene, but for like the wider,
put him on the map, I guess. I get what you're saying.
Brian Valoria fight, I remember that. And Rogers fight, of course. The Rungvisai fights.
Yeah, is Estrada fight back at light flyweight?
Yes. Yep. Yeah, that was before. That was really early. That was like 2013, 2012, I want to say.
I want to say 12, yeah.
What was it called? Wanhang lost his the other week.
Yeah,
Play with fire. Oh man, disappointed because
is that minimum weight or light fly? I forget which one.
Minimum.
That's the minimum.
No, I think he might be light fly.
Wanhang is minimum weight, straw weight for sure.
Yeah, he's 105.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys watched that fight, but I did, and I thought that was like a robbery, to be honest. Like, I think they knew Wanhang wanted to retire. He was eyeing retirement, right? So they wanted to kind of pass the belt to one of their guys to make sure they could keep it, if you know what I mean.
Was that guy from Thailand as well?
Yeah, Pradabsri. He's also from Thailand, but the way the commentators were talking about the fight and just the way the network was showing it, you'd make it think that Wanhang was a foreigner. It was pretty disgusting, to be honest. It was very blatant what they were doing.
They fight all the same over there, I tell you, man. Like their style and everything. Like Japan, they're a bit like I'm talking about just that minimum weight.
Yeah,
like they're quick there. Like they use their speed, but in Thailand, they're like a lot of those guys are ex-kickboxers. Or they've done like Muay Thai.
I think the reason is there's only so much you could do at 5'1", 5'2", 5'3", like as far as styles, like
yeah, you're not gonna see like
a 5'5" guy is gonna fight tall against a 5'1" guy. Like, I mean, I don't know how the air is down there, so.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Those guys are beatable.
They're certainly good fighters, but I get what you're saying. Like sometimes their styles seem so. You have to look for the subtleties to notice the differences. So like just the overall type of style. Tall guy will try to fight tall. Short guy will fight coming forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Shoot. Do you want to talk about heavyweight again? We were just on Bacoli before you left. Watch or.
Yeah, I mean,
what'd you think of that card, Watcher? I haven't heard your thoughts on that card.
Kuzman versus yeah, I know Watcher was you were texting the group chat about it during the fight. What did you think about IBT? I thought only one card had it right.
Well, I wanted to know what Watcher thought first because
Okay.
I didn't catch that live.
Okay, what did you think, Watcher?
Of the whole card?
But the Bakoli Kuzman fight specifically.
Yeah.
I thought Bakali won it, to be honest. I just think Kuzman just didn't do enough at all. Bakali, he was boxing better in the first half because as it went on, he got hit more and more. He's there to be hit. You know, they make him out to be a slick defensive guy. He's not. He's not at all. He gets hit clean a lot. And, you know, a good win for Bakali, but when he steps up, he's getting the same treatment when he did with Michael Hunter. The same thing will happen, probably worse. He gets hit way too much with too many different shots at different ranges. He can box. He's competent. He can box. You know, and he's good at. He's got a good engine on him, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that assessment. I also thought he won. Trying to think if there's anything like different I can add. I know a lot of people were expecting him to stop Kuzman, and it's not like he's a feather-fisted puncher at all. But I didn't quite understand why. Right? I thought he was definitely gonna just beat him on points, and it'd be just a competitive, solid fight. I think that both those guys are pretty similar in level, right? And I'd say both guys are around the top 30-ish area. You know what I mean? Like 25, 30.
Yeah.
At this point. Like I would probably favor them to beat Brazil or like Gerald Washington, but I think once you get to Joe Joyce, it's kind of tough. You know what I mean? Or like Ortiz, that's too much for either of those guys right now. So, I think Bakoli can get better, and he seems to be a good fighter, like you said. But, yeah, I think he's gonna have to. If he steps up, he's gonna have to do it a little gradually because that was a good step up. But I don't want him to go too far past that, or he'll lose. What'd you guys make of? Unfortunately, I know the whole situation with the Coley, but he actually had an entertaining fight for once.
Yeah, I mean, he did what he had to do. He did good.
Yeah. He did the same thing with that Ngabu dude for the European title. It was ugly until he knocked him out. I think Glowacki would have been KO'd just like that guy, too. It would have been harder, but he's there for the right hand as well.
Yeah, Okoli has certainly impressed me recently. I feel like he's more composed and his performances have been more refined. I definitely think when he gets the opportunity, he'll become a world champion at cruiserweight, get the WBL strap.
Yeah, he can definitely pick up that title. I don't think he can beat Breedis at all because he doesn't know what to do on the inside still. He probably will never know what to really do on the inside because that's not his game, but he could definitely pick up a belt or two, I think. Like, there's not much resistance right now at this level. I want to say Makabu is there for the right hand, but Makabu, like he did not have that loss against Bellew was BS. Like, fuck.
He's such a dumb fighter. He is so dumb.
But he's been his last couple of fights. Okay, he went to Russia. Well, he fought a tune-up, of course, but he had a contract in Russia where if he had beat Kudryashov, which he did, he would have to fight Alexei Papin, which was a really good win as well, and that was a great fight.
Yeah,
and for him the thing with Makabu is he recovers really well, but he gets hurt easily, so he's always in these back and forth affairs.
yeah,
he really knows how to he's pretty good on the inside. So I think if he makes it ugly, he could probably do something with Okoli. I mean, I could see how Okoli's the favorite in that fight. He would be, but I really want Makabu to beat him but I
To
don't think
me, I
they're
think
across.
yeah, I know what you mean. I would agree with your overall assessment. I think Breedis is the man at the division right now, right?
Yeah,
3-time champion, current Ring Magazine #1, all that good stuff. And lineal actually. Right? He's the lineal champion at the
Yeah.
moment. So you said earlier you think the division's weak. I don't particularly agree. I do agree it's a little weaker than it was a couple years ago, just because Usyk's gone, Gassiev's gone, right? Hunter's moved up. Those are all guys who are good. God damn, Jesus. But
Oh
but,
no!
but I think the current crop there.
no! Oh god!
What a
No.
dumbass.
I think the current crop of guys can make some pretty good matchups. I like Makabu Coley. I don't know if that happens, but I would like that down the line if a Coley wins the belt.
So who's there now? Like I don't think much of the guy from Bell. Well, Riyad was a Riyad. I forgot his name, but he's okay. The French guy with the beard is pretty solid.
Arsene
Yeah,
Goulamirian.
he's still trained by Abel Sanchez or
Are you talking about Gassiev?
no. Arsene was also trained by him.
Oh, I
But
didn't actually know that. All right, Arsene Goulamirian is also all right.
or at the time, I don't know if they're still a thing. Pause, but like they were, they were actually working together.
All right.
Right before Gassiev left. So I don't know if Arsene left as well, but Dorticos, I'm not high on him, man. I don't really think he's a solid fighter, yes, but I don't know. Like I've never been really like blown away with him. I felt Breedis kind of underperformed versus him.
Really? I thought Breedis performed very well. That was to me, it wasn't quite a 50-50 fight, right? I was confident personally that Breedis was going to win,
Yeah.
but a lot of people were picking Dorticos to stop Breedis just because he's such a good puncher. But I think people were underrating how good of a boxer Breedis was, right? So he ended up getting the decision.
Breedis
clearly.
isn't fleet on his fleet on his feet either, but is it fleet on his feet? I think.
No, he's not very fleet-footed.
Fleet-footed. I don't know. I messed that up, but he's faster than Dorticos. Dorticos, I think, is like ponderous like a lot. I think he's just like he doesn't really do anything until he gets into range. Instead, he'll just put his hands up.
Like you're saying, he has difficulty working his way on the inside.
Yeah, Tabiti was just kind of like Tabiti was just uncomfortable in that fight. I don't think Tabiti was able to take the physicality. That's what got him knocked out.
Yeah, I mean, Dorticos is a very strong fighter physically and in terms of power punch, right? To me, what I like about the cruiserweight division is, like I said, I wouldn't say it's weak. It is weaker than it was a couple years ago just because some of the top talents have left. But what I like about the division is you very often see two top 10 guys going against each other, right? So like we were supposed to see a Coley versus Glowacki. That would have been two top 10 guys, and then it turned into a Coley versus Michael
Whoever that guy was.
Chislak, and that's still a top 10 guy. You had Poppin versus you just said, right? Poppin versus
Makabu was really, really good.
Yeah.
I watched it back 2 weeks ago or 2.5 weeks ago now. That was an amazing fight. That was
Yeah.
It was a co-main, wasn't it? On the Kovalev yard.
Yeah, and then don't you have who's gonna fight soon? It's Makabu's gonna fight soon, right?
Yeah, he's gonna fight the Eternal Gatekeeper, I think, or the Eternal Contender. That guy from Nigeria that they always bring into play. I forget his name. Onwude Durdola. It's him and another guy that I'm thinking about. I think you might know him. If I say the name, you'll definitely know him. It's this guy, this Unrula guy, and who's the other guy that always is in the mix? Fuck, where is his name? Shoot.
Yeah, but point being, the division is pretty active between the top guys fighting each other. That's something I always enjoy. So
Yeah, I think the guy Makabu beat for the title is also pretty good. I know he came last minute, but I think he's pretty good.
yeah,
Yuri Kalenga.
yeah. There you go. Yeah,
That's the guy I'm thinking about. Him and the Duradola guy are always in or around. Ruslan Fafer's been knocked out now twice. Um, this division is they do fight, but like I don't. Nobody's kind of like far and above, except like, well, even Breedis is closer, but Breedis like is the clear man. But the rest of them get in there because just the money isn't there, so there's no real incentive to avoid each other.
yeah. I think it's a little unfortunate, right? But these guys, like especially with the WBSS, that has made a big stamp on the cruiserweight division in terms of these guys are able to seek out legacy and accomplishments and hopefully money by the best fighting the best in that division, especially since they've had 2 tournaments now. You've actually have you can actually formulate a record of top 10 guys versus each other, right? So earlier I was mentioning Luis Ortiz. Even though we know Luis Ortiz is good based on the eye test, if you want to look at his record versus guys in the top 10, it's 0-2 with
Yeah, unfortunately.
0-2 via knockout, right? Which doesn't look great, but it's unfortunate, exactly like you said. So that's my main that's what I like about the cruiserweight division, and that's what I dislike about the heavyweight division. So yeah, that's kind of where I stand on that.
Yeah,
And Watcher, if you don't mind, I'm gonna switch back to my PC. So I'm gonna disconnect. I'll come back.
All good. Yeah, cruiserweight is a funny one. Kind of slips under the radar. I like it.
Yeah.
It
does.
but it's not always full of excitement. I'll say that.
Right.
And as you could see from that GIF, Makabe is showing how much of a dumb fighter he is.
Yep.
Because he had that in the bag. He did have it. But he just his guard is terrible. Like his blocking is bad. He gets hit clean with the block. So I don't know, man. I think Okoli could probably beat everyone, to be honest. Breedis is
I don't think he beats Breedis, no.
Well, I gotta watch more Breedis anyway. I haven't watched him.
Yeah,
much.
Breedis is much better than Okoli. He's a way more.
Breedis beat Makabu?
Breedis can beat Makabu, yeah.
So is Breedis the best of that
Breedis is
division?
the best guy at cruiserweight. I don't think there's really anybody challenging him. Maybe that arson guy that we talked about, but that's
The guy that commits arson.
Huh?
The guy that commits arson.
No, his name is like Arsen Gulamaran or whatever. He's a pretty good inside fighter, but I think Breedis would just kind of stay on the outside with somebody like him. Breedis has it all package wise, but he's just not. He's not.
You kidding me, man? Kevin Johnson has it all package wise, man.
Kingpin.
He has it all. He just knocked out someone. He's been knocked out on the ropes by Joshua. He got chinned by Martin Bacoli, who's not a big puncher. He is pound for pound the full package. He is clearly, he's mandatory. He's mandatory, man. He 600 days waiting. Kevin Johnson for his title shot.
Yeah, Kevin Johnson's a monster. The Kingpin.
God, you know what, dude? After that,
he actually owns an outlet, a promotional outlet in Germany. He actually promotes fighters in Germany.
Yeah, I know.
You know that?
Yep.
He's like an international businessman now. The Kingpin.
Yep.
The businessman. Kevin Johnson. Everybody's ducking him.
I'm gonna leave the studio just for a bit, and then I'm gonna come back in.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Yeah, we were just talking about the Kingpin and how he knocked out Jan Pablo Hernandez.
Yeah, Kevin Johnson. That dude's a beast.
That got me out of my seat. I wanted him to fight for the title right then and there. They can't deny him anymore.
That guy to me is one of my favorite heavyweight journeymen right now.
I actually did. It's my only. It's the only content I actually have on my channel other than just random live streams. But it was my first vid begging for him to retire. I was gonna make a retirement series. Actually, I need to get moving on that. I always say that, but it was him. Then I was gonna do Chop Chop Corley. Then I was gonna do. I think at the time there's another guy who was still fighting that I want to, but those two were
someone who I would mention, Oliver McCall, for some reason.
Yeah. Actually, Laws did on another guy we talked boxing with. He did one about Oliver McCall, still fighting.
Yeah, that guy is sick though. I mean, like really awesome, but he should probably retire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How is someone who would have sparring wars with Mike Tyson and has been fighting for that long and is this age and with that type of style, how have they never been knocked down in sparring, amateur or pro? That is impressive.
That's insane. Yeah, that's crazy. That guy just probably has a granite chin. I don't think he can go down.
Not even granite. I mean, if you drop granite off a building, it'll break, right? This has to be some next level. I don't even know. A vibranium chin.
When he dies, he'll probably be standing up. Like, yeah.
Who are we talking about?
Oliver McCall is still an active boxer, and he's never been dropped in sparring, amateur or pro.
He can't get knocked out, this guy, or knocked down.
Let's see his record.
Oliver McCall, famous for knocking out Lennox Lewis, and I do believe he was one of Mike Tyson's main sparring partners in his prime. And if you know anything about Mike Tyson sparring in his prime, hardly call that sparring.
He knocked down Mike Tyson, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, like those guys,
A couple of times now.
you don't fight with someone like that and not get knocked down at any point, right? Like, I'm sure he got knocked down and just got right back up and started brawling again. You know.
He beat Fres Oquendo at that age.
Yeah. That guy's a
15.
legend.
Jeez, man. That Lennox Lewis. You know what though? I swear, dude. That when Hasim Rahman knocked out Lennox Lewis, that was the funniest shit.
Mm-hmm.
I always laugh when I see that knockout. Just I don't know. I know it's horrible, but like because I like Lennox, but dude, that knockout was hilarious. Like, oh, dude, the way like he just fucking his head just like it was like a slingshot, man. It was such a bad knockout as well. Like
Lennox very interestingly always like smiled when he was knocked out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the two times, yeah.
that
was
reminds me
smiling.
like, when Joshua got stopped, he was smiling a bit, or like when he was on the ground. I've seen that a lot from Razor Ruddock did it with Mike
Yeah.
as well. Let me see, Lewis.
He
No,
he didn't get knocked out, or I don't think he didn't get dropped either. But Shannon Briggs hurt him. He like threw a really hard right hand, and it stunned Lennox, and he was smiling for a bit, but then he kind of snapped out of it and hit him with the 1-2 and knocked Shannon down.
Yeah, that was
pretty
like a couple
interesting.
seconds. Couple
Yeah,
seconds after it. That was sick. That
Yeah,
I'm
that
just
was pretty
watching the
sick.
highlights now. Actually, it was in South Africa, I believe.
Yeah, it was in South Africa. He was filming Ocean's 11 or something like that.
He was huge, Lennox. He's such a big like man.
He is a very big man.
Like Vitaly Klitschko was like 6'8", but I don't know, man. Like I don't believe Lennox was 6'5". I reckon he was like 6'6" or something. Like
Is he
was, like,
listed as 6'5"?
Yeah, he's listed as 6'5".
I thought he was like 6'7".
I think he's 6'6". That's just like what I think. But have you guys seen Callum? I don't believe he's 6'3", man.
You think he's taller than that?
I think he's taller than that.
Like 6'4"?
I reckon he's 6'3".
I think he's maybe 6'4", maybe I don't know about 6'5", but I think somewhere 6'4", because I've just seen him standing next to Eddie Hearn, right? And Canelo and AJ and all them. And there's a photo of him standing next to AJ, and he looks maybe an inch or two shorter. Pretty insane stuff.
Yeah,
And AJ's closer to the camera, and he looks 2 inches shorter.
AJ's
So.
probably I'd say closer to 6'5". I'd say Callum Smith is a legit 6'3". He's one of the few people who's like might be taller than his listed height. He's either a legit 6'3" or 6'4". I think
taller.
I don't think
Yeah.
Dillian White is taller than me. I think Dillian White might be 6'1" or 6'1.5".
You know, another one I think is taller than what they're listed at. Gilberto Ramirez.
Yeah. What about
I think-
Sebastian Fedora, that scarecrow at 154?
That dude is legit grown. Every time I check, he's taller and his reach is longer. Like I remember at first when I saw him, he was 6'4" and his arms were short. Like distinctly, his arms weren't very long in compare. Like his ratio was off, right? And then I checked again in his fight versus Nathaniel Gallimore, and he was a little taller and his arms were a little longer. And I checked again, and now he's 6'6" and his arms are also 6'6". It's like Jesus.
Yeah, BoxRec has him at 6'7", I think, or something like that.
Something, yeah,
Right.
I don't, that's crazy. It's crazy.
Right. He's. I went on a rant about him the other day. It's like, I understand people about shrinking down, but like, he's gonna get seriously hurt because there's no cushion if he gets punched right. Like, I think he should be fighting at like light heavyweight, cruiserweight. Probably.
I think his frame is a little too small, right? So the fact that he can make 154, to me, I think he's eventually going to go up to light heavyweight or super middleweight. But weirdly enough, I don't think he can go to cruiserweight because he is, he's got the height and reach, but it's kind of like I would compare it to Leo Santa Cruz, right? Leo Santa Cruz was massive for bantamweight, super bantamweight, but at featherweight, he was a pretty good size, and he didn't have that much power. And then at 130, he's as tall as everyone else and as long, but he didn't have the frame, right? He's not natural to that weight class. I think if Fundura went to cruiserweight, I mean, imagine Fundura plus 50 pounds, right? Add 50 pounds on him right now, and then throw him in there with Dorticos. Dorticos going to knock him the hell out. He's going to spark him.
Yeah,
right?
he would need the time to put that weight on. Like, it would have to
for
be
sure.
prolonged. It'd have to be like something ridiculous, like 3 or 4 years to properly put the weight on. Because if he were to throw that on, it'd probably mostly be fat and it wouldn't really work out. That's even if he's able to put the weight on with his metabolism, or if he's just not eating. I think if he gets in 154 with like somebody who can really hit. I mean, Gallimore could hit, but he just kind of moved him all around.
Gallimore, to me, he's a good fighter. I would say like another gatekeeper type
He's
fighter.
definitely a gatekeeper now.
Like an elite, like to me, an elite gatekeeper. One of the better gatekeepers. I mean, right? So, I think he's just been worn out a little bit. Too many tough fights back to back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Lubin really he was on that roll. He was basically a PBC champion as far as because this was back when Showtime. I say it like it's a while ago, but
I know what you mean.
PBC had the smaller fights, the Friday, Tuesday night, sort of Saturday night, decent card fights, versus
The weekday type of fights.
right. And Showtime would have the bigger cards on the weekend, so when he was, who'd he beat? Justin Deloach, Rosario. He went on a little run there. I think it was like a 3 or 4 fight sort of a streak. Where
Yeah,
he
it
was
was
And
after
then
he
he fought,
beat Angelo Baez. He was another undefeated. It was 2 undefeated guys going against each other, and he beat Angelo Baez by first round KO. And then he beat Angel Hernandez, Jason Rosario, Justin Deloach.
and that got him the Williams fight. And after that, it just went downhill.
Yeah, but to be fair to him, listen to these names I'm going to list off right now, right? Jason Rosario, Justin Deloach, Isu Herrera. That's a little easier touch there. Then hear this: Julian Williams, future unified champion; Patrick Teixeira, future champion; Antonio Todd, good little prospect, That's a little easier fight. He won.
And
Erickson Lubin and then Sebastian Fundura. Like that is a difficult run.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that one judge was watching when he scored a draw between Williams and Gallimore.
Yeah, not sure. Yeah.
But yeah, the Gallimore for the Rosario fight for me, I watched it back the other day too. Like, man, I don't think much of Rosario, dude. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't. I know he beat J Rock, but no, that's Rosario is no. If you're going back and forth with Jorge Cota, who's probably the worst ranked top 15 fighter in any weight class, I think, in the world.
I wouldn't say he's top 15. I think he's like a gatekeeper, like Gallimore kind of.
Like, have you seen like a world ranked fighter that bad? Like, he doesn't look
Tom
like he worked
Schwartz.
out of box. He's definitely Tom Schwartz is pretty bad, but Tom Schwartz can at least jab and move around. Like
Cota can jab. I don't particularly enjoy watching him at all. I'm glad Fundora didn't fight him. I don't think that's a useful fight at all. But
Jorge Cota is really, really, really bad.
Cota is a gatekeeper tune-up type of guy for anyone who's good at 154.
He
right?
just slaps, like he gets in brawls with guys, and somehow he beat. Who did he beat? That Thomas Lamana or whatever last time out.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Like, I don't know why PBC keep dinging this guy up. Like,
He's a gatekeeper. They're just keeping him relevant. He's a gatekeeper. But yeah, I forget where we started this discussion, to be honest.
oh, we're talking about guys who are usually taller than they make out to be, or that
Oh
they're
yeah, that's right. Yeah, you guys looking forward to Triple G versus Cesaro Meta at all?
Absolutely not.
Really.
I want to see Golovkin fight De La Hoya in the ring.
Nah, probably not.
Why do you want to see De La Hoya knocked out?
I'm kidding. Oh man, who is
Triple
this
G
guy?
looking good,
He's
too.
fighting? Like, I want him and I don't know. I'll take him and Jamal or him and Eubank or something like that. Not this.
Him and Andre.
Yeah, that one. That would be good. There's a bit of heat there.
Yeah.
A good fight, that one. I don't want to see this. Like, what are they talking about? Like his title defenses making history or something?
He technically has the most title defenses of any middleweight. Technically, but
Is that what they're trying to make this fight out to be?
he defended the regular title to start that out. So many people.
So it'll be
many
like
people,
25 to 26 times total.
Yeah. I mean, it's still impressive, but I think it's more people defending B-Hop or disliking the promotion and hype around Triple G. Because I'm gonna be honest, I think Triple G's a very good fighter, right? And he's a very entertaining fighter. But some of his fans, when the fans are crazy, you can kind of be dissuaded from liking the fighter. I feel like that happens a lot with more the high profile guys, right?
Big drama show. I want to do that Saturday if he's going to bring another one.
Friday.
Oh, Friday. Yeah, I forgot. Tomorrow. Yeah, we wait in today. Yeah. But
he looked in good shape.
He
I'm
did.
looking forward to it. I've got some parlays on him winning by mid-round knockout.
I don't know much about Tarazameta. I only thing I know about this fight was it was supposed to be made March this year, and Glowacki versus Okoli was supposed to be on this card in Chicago. It's the only
That'd have been a good card.
Yeah, that was supposed to go down.
He's a good fighter. He's Polish. I think he's got 20 something, like low 20 wins. So a little over 20 wins, no defeats. He's not a very hard puncher. He's a pretty good technical boxer. He's kind of like a
Yeah, 7 KOs.
something like that. I think maybe even less, like 5.
Oh, no.
Yeah, out of his 20 wins. So he's not a big puncher, but he's like a volume guy. He's a decent boxer. I'd say he's at like the top of the European level, right? So I think he's earned his shot the traditional method, like working your way up your regional title, defending it, and then you get the world title shot. So I'm not really blaming Cesar Meta. I think to me he's like a top 20-ish level guy, right? Certainly not a bad fighter. I just think his style is so tailor made for Triple G, accidentally, that you know what I mean. Like Cesar Meta versus Andre probably wouldn't be as a one-sided fight, just because a boxer with volume would actually give Andre something, some more to think about, even if he doesn't have power. Whereas Triple G can just take his shots, give one back, and that might wobble him. Like that might just hurt him, and he could stop him early, mid, or late, depending on whenever that opportunity comes. But all I can't actually promise you anything, but I'm very, very, very confident in a Triple G knockout, and I personally think it's going to come in around the mid rounds, mid to early, like 4 through 7-ish, I want to say.
So Golovkin gets through this fight. What's next?
Canelo.
Really?
For him, because time is out. No.
Really? Really? Canelo next? We've seen
If
it.
they can get it, over the line. I mean, Canelo, after this fight, I don't think he's fighting anybody on PBC. I think Andre's still going to be frozen out. Andre is supposed to fight Liam Williams. He should blow that guy away. I mean, Liam Williams has had a good run with the Mark Efron win. He beat that Muslim guy. And then who did he beat? Alantez Fox. But Alantez Fox is right from over here. It's not even 2 hours. I mean, he doesn't blow anybody away. And they try to make out that he improved and everything. He did, but he's not in Andre league. So that should be
I think he could beat Andre. I favor Andre, but I think that it's a little tougher than people are making it out to be. I don't think he's going to blow through him. If he does, I'd be surprised.
Yeah, I felt Sulecki was a better opponent than Williams, and he was able to take care of Sulecki. Although
I think Williams.
Sorry. No, go ahead.
Sorry. I'm getting kind of like lag, so people cut out a little early, and I think they're done talking and they're not. So sorry if I'm interrupting you. I don't mean to.
Go ahead. I'm done.
I just think Sulecki's style is a little more
boxer
like
first.
I'm saying with Cesar Meta and Triple G. Yeah, I think it favors Andre. It's gonna like just that. I think it would favor Andre a lot. I think Liam Williams, the fact that he's a good technical, I think he's a solid technical boxer. I think he's got good power, right? I think the power combined with the aggressiveness and the fact that he's got a good jab and he's shown that he can fight a southpaw and that he can handle range and all that. I think he's going to give him some problems.
Yeah, I think with Andre's issues is like he's chinny, and he gets wild at times. But I think if he relies on his talent, because the guy is really, really talented. I always talk about his talent and that he's never really lived up to it too much, and he makes fights harder than they need to be. But if he's on all cylinders, he should take care of Liam Williams. I think the fight I really wanted to see was that Billy Joe Saunders fight, to see who really was the most talented fighter at that weight class. Talent. I use the word talented, not best, but talented fighter at that weight class. Both guys who, well, Andre never really blows up in weight, but still, as far as technical fighters, those two. Wish that would have gotten over the line. Well, it did, but it never made it to the ring, sadly.
Yeah, I know what you mean for sure. One of my parlays just died. That sucks. Stephen Shaw won by points instead of knockout.
Who do you fight? Big Shot.
Over I don't know how to say his name quite well, so forgive me for the mispronunciation, but it's Lyubomir Pinchuk. Two heavyweight guys, pretty young.
Oh, this guy. Seems familiar. Okay, yes, I did hear about. Yes,
Yeah, Stephen Shaw.
he was on the Contender, I think. The Pinchuk guy. I know Stephen Shaw. He would
Yeah,
train
yeah.
Wilder, but his opponent, I think, was on the Contender series. Demolition Man. Remember Greg Corbin?
What was the Contender series?
It was like our rendition of the Ultimate Fighter.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because I was gonna say, like, they've
The
got a
box.
Contender series going on with the UFC as well.
Oh no, that's the no. It's like it's more like Tough.
You
Like they
used to
have
watch
an
Tough.
actual Tough.
You used to watch Tough.
Yeah, I still
That's the acronym. That's the acronym. The Ultimate Fighter, tough.
Yeah.
I still watched it. I still watch clips of it now. Yeah, I used to watch it. My
Yeah,
favorite
sure.
season was Rampage Evans. That was my favorite season. That was so funny.
That was a
Oh
good one.
mate, you know what? When he went up to Rashad, um, he's like, he's like, he's like, do it then. Come on. And like they were just, I thought so. I thought that they were gonna like have a fight right then. And then Rampage is like, I'm bringing emotion into it, and Rashad is like, that's good
He
for
lost
me.
every single fight except for that one guy, Big Bait. Who was it? What was his name? Jamarcus Russell. Whoever that big guy, he was horrible on his stand up.
Most of them are horrible on the stand up.
Marcus Big Bait, whatever the guy. Oh man, he was so bad, but he was their only win. He actually got to like the semifinals before getting knocked out by Brendan Schwab, who was just
Oh no.
yeah. Brendan Schwab really thought he was well at the time.
Schwab's not a bad fighter. Actually, wait, that sounded
You
messed
can't
up.
take it apart.
He's like a guy who he's like athletic, right? But I
Yeah,
don't know how much of a fighter he was. So he was always like almost top 10, like right there at the bottom end at his best. But he always came up just short. I wouldn't say just short. I'd say he came up very short in the big fights, right? Get knocked the hell out. You could actually make a knockout compilation video of just Brendan Schwab, unfortunately.
yeah. Him, Roy Nelson, Travis Brown. Who else was it? That he got knocked out by. Let me actually find his shirt on.
Yeah, that guy. I mean, fun fights and all that. Like you said, he was athletic, but just when he got knocked out, it was always so vicious. It was never like, I don't know.
Oh man, they were really tough
war.
to see. There was one where he was like grabbing at the lights, like it was really
Yeah,
not good.
yeah, that one I remember. And he's already knocked out. Like it's been a while already. He's still reaching up, right?
Ben Rothwell, that was the one. That was where
Brett,
he was.
yeah, that one was bad. Big Ben.
Yeah, he was kind of weird, Big Ben. Like even in his post fights, like he's like, remember he tried to do that laugh, like that villainous
Yeah,
laugh or whatever. And nobody even said anything, and nobody laughed. He was like ha 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 ha, and it was just awkward.
yeah, I remember that.
I got knocked out by Nogueira, and the Travis Brown one. Travis Brown one was just kind of sad for him because the whole Ronda Rousey thing.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Damn.
Yeah, that was not amazing. Shoot, what else was the one? The Roy Nelson one, of course. Roy Nelson one and the Ben Rothwell one was really, really bad. Travis Brown was okay, but yeah, 10-5. Big Brown, that was his name.
Yeah, I am. I don't know if you guys watch UFC. I know Daniel Cormier is close to IBT, but my favorite's Usman as a
I
UFC
think
fighter.
Usman is a good all-around fighter, but his stand-up has some stuff left to be desired. Usually, when he's not confident, he just shoots for a double leg.
Nah,
He works really
Usman's,
tough.
yeah, Usman's a very good fighter. Just his style is so boring to me, man.
Yeah.
Just
I don't
so
find
boring.
it boring. I love it, man. I
Like,
love that
When he
gritty-
like the Colby fight was good, and he had a
Weird, wasn't it? Two guys who like to lay on. That's the thing on the UFC. Like, usually two guys who like to lay on each other get into the stand-up battle, right? And the guys who like to strike sometimes are either really timid or start grappling. Like, it's
Yoel Romero,
Yeah.
actual legitimate all-time great amateur wrestler, known for his knockouts and
yeah,
striking,
in the UFC.
and never uses his wrestling. Justin Gaethje, standout,
Standout wrestler never uses his-
standout collegiate wrestler, striker. You know?
You know,
Yeah.
I think people get in there with Khabib and they just shit their pants. They just think they're gonna just get choked out once it gets to the ground, and it leads to this. Like, the way Gaethje was fighting, his back was like at a 90-degree angle. He was bent over almost when he was fighting, just trying to stop the takedown. Like that is not the type of fight I wanna am
Next
interested in.
UFC champ to lose will be Stipe Miocic. David Williams.
Yeah, if they make that fight versus Ngannou, I think Ngannou has
I think Miocic schools him again.
again.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
I like
Yeah, that ain't
Ngannou, but I haven't seen the proper adjustments at all. I haven't seen anything new that would lead me to believe that he stops him.
Only thing I saw was him catching Cain Velasquez on the inside.
Yeah, well, Kane was already like, you know.
He was shot to shit.
Yeah, I really, really like Kane. Like I do. So his fights at his peak, right, were just like actually amazing to watch. But just nah. At that level, he'd already been inactive for a long time. He was kind of a little older, right? And then his fight versus Rosenstrike, I didn't see. He just kind of ran forward.
He blew him away. Yeah.
Yeah, he just blew him up. It wasn't even a fight, really.
JDS, he blew him away too. I mean, JDS got some good leg kicks in, but he was gone.
Not to say that you can't blow people away and be like, impressed by it, but I think Stipe's really refined his style. David Williams in the chat saying Stipe's older though, and DC knocked him out since. Yeah, that did happen, but I also think that the DC fights have helped him in terms of like experience, right? He's really rounded out his craft. I don't see him losing next at all. If anybody's losing next, I'd have to check the rankings of the champions right now, just offhand. I'm trying to think of the guys.
I feel in that third fight, DC kind of got old overnight, and there was really no excuse for DC to lose that second fight. I mean, he had that in the bag. I had him winning all 3 of the rounds.
I'm surprised you
He got
watched
tired.
the
I could not believe he kept getting caught with that same left hand to the body.
Oh,
He
I know
he
who.
lost.
Volkanovski. That guy should have lost his title.
Oh yeah.
He lost to Holloway again.
Clearly
Yeah,
lost.
and they robbed him. That was really bad. Like, to me, it was very obvious that Holloway had won. Right? Like, I get the first one was close. They gave it to Volkanovski, but that one, I was just completely confused as to how they could keep the titles with Volkanovski for that one. I think
He beat Aldo in the stinker right before the title fight.
who? Oh, yeah.
That
I
was
don't
a
know.
horrible fight to see.
Yeah, but Volkanov, like, he's not bad, but I don't think he's a champion. Like, straight up, I can't justify that in my
I
head.
think he beats Ortega though. I don't think Ortega. I know Ortega just beat the Korean Zombie, Chan Sung Jung, but
I think
Well,
Ortega's style is great for Volkanovski.
But is he like?
I
always
think Ortega plays into Volkanovski. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I always have a thing about fighters who go bald. Usually you're shot. 9 times out of 10. I hate Fury, but I mean he's an exception. He still fights similar to how he did when he wasn't bald, but he was losing hair before that. But other than something like that,
Holyfield went bald and had an ATG career.
yeah, that too. But in the UFC, it's usually, or just in general fighting, usually when you go bald, it's a bad sign of things to come.
You know what?
We saw it with Tony Ferguson, right?
Yeah, well, you
that
know
was
what?
weird.
Really, I was surprised that he even came back like the same
So
year,
soon.
so soon, because he
Yeah.
took a lot of damage. And Khabib said some BS. He was like, "Oh, he made like this. He wanted to quit." No, he didn't quit. He literally had a nervous reaction. Like that was like you saw when that jab did to him, and he just started shaking his head. That wasn't because he wanted to. I promise you.
Yeah, no, I think like that was too much for
He was
Khabib to say. That's kind of crazy to me.
He was genuinely hurt. Like he literally malfunctioned. Like that wasn't giving up. I don't know why he said he
You
gave
know
up.
who I didn't like how it's turned out for? I didn't like how it turned out for Woodley because
Yeah,
My rib.
yeah,
yeah,
nah,
that
but,
sucked. That sucked.
He gave
nah,
up.
but
I mean, he just.
I
don't
remember I watched the press
Podcast.
conference with Usman, and he
I remember when he got knocked out by Nate Marquardt too.
yeah, that was a bad one. But I remember the press conference with Usman. He said, "If we wrestle, I'm gonna out wrestle you. If we grapple, I'm gonna break your arm. If we stand, I'm gonna knock you out." And it was probably the most one-sided affair. Like Usman just beat the shit out of him,
Oh
and
yeah,
I,
he
I
just
knew
out
beforehand
wrestled.
Usman would beat him because I thought, I'm like, who is this guy? Like, who is this Usman? He's like full of, he's just this guy from Nigeria, and he's a very cold dude. Like, he just beat him up, man. And, like, it's the same with Colby. It's the same with
and dominated.
Masvidal. What did you say?
Yeah, he just laid on him and dominated him.
Nah, bro, it's not just that, man. It's not. It's
He stomped
you
his
know.
toes a couple times.
After the Usman fight, he just kind of gone. I mean, he shouldn't have really lost to Gilbert Burns, and then after that,
Oh, he should have got Colby, man. He was doing the right thing. He was taking the middle of the octagon and pressing, but he's lost it. He can't. He says he's coming back in 2021. He is not. He is.
He should
They'll probably
retire.
cut him.
in
He's
2021,
he's still a name, so
I remember
Unless-
McGregor wanted to fight him.
who Woodley?
that would have been a tough matchup at prime for prime.
Yeah. Oh, look, that played the full fight with Canelo. There you go.
I don't know if you guys know about this, but Century Snooker in the chat's been asking for a while now about Sergey Kovalev's next opponent, Uzbekistan amateur standout Bektamir Melikuziev.
Usually, if
Yeah.
they're being pushed along like that, then they have something amateur wise. No, I
Yeah.
haven't watched them, but I heard that this fight was made.
That guy is genuinely, well, first of all, massive props, right? Kovalev, yes, he is coming off of a loss, but he's coming off of a loss to the pound for pound number one, right?
Yeah.
And the three-time champion at light heavyweight, former unified champion, probably the best light heavyweight in the past 15 years. Kovalev's really, really good, right? Probably future Hall of Famer. For Bektamir to be fighting him in his 7th fight is an incredible step up, especially when you consider Bektamir's the weight he campaigns at normally. Like he campaigns at super middleweight normally, and this fight would be at a 178 catch weight. So, a very interesting decision by Golden Boy, but they're doing it, and genuinely, this is an amazing fight, right? Props to both guys for taking it, because Kovalev does not need to be fighting a young gun prospect as vicious as Bektemir is, and Bektemir does not need to be fighting someone as established and experienced and skilled as Sergey Kovalev is. So that's going to be a tremendous fight. Either we're going to see Kovalev outbox him and show him that he's still levels below in that Kovalev's class, or we're going to see Bektemir get work to the body, use his power and size to break down Kovalev, and either win on points or possibly by stoppage. Because Bektemir's specialty, right? He's his nickname is Beck the Bully. That guy's got tremendous body work. He's got very heavy hands. He's, like I said, a very experienced amateur boxer. He has great use of angles, setting up power punches. He's just a really good prospect. I'm very high on him, and just to see he's fighting someone like Kovalev, genuinely very, very exciting matchup. It'll happen by late January. I want to say January 30th.
I just saw it January 30th. Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be, if you guys have time, watch some of Bektemir's fights. There's only 6 of them. Only one of them goes the distance, and that is against Vaughn Alexander. He fought Clay Collard. He's the only man to stop Clay Collard. And, he's just a really, really good prospect. And those Uzbekistan fighters, man, they don't mess around.
Yeah, I remember Vaughn Alexander. He beat Money Powell.
Vaughn is a good gatekeeper type of guy, and he did very well. He outboxed him. So if you have any doubts about his boxing ability, you don't think he's all power like people think about Berlanga, watch that Vaughn Alexander fight. If you want to see him be destructive and vicious, watch any of his other 5 fights.
Okay, he's not like Edgar Berlanga, right? He's more technical.
No. He's like I said, Berlanga has just got kind
I
of.
like him. I do like Berlanga, but I think he's a bit overhyped right now. Linnell Bell was a good win, but I mean, there's still much to see from Edgar Berlanga, and you can do all the push-ups you want after a fight because you feel you felt you did something wrong, but you're always going to do something wrong when you're in a fight. So I don't, that doesn't show anything to me. And Top Prank is pushing him heavy. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, he's got. Look, the guy
He's
certainly
a good trainer, is what I have to say in punching power. But
yeah, like he's got a good thing going for him, I guess, with the hype and the publicity. 16 KOs, all first round. The guy's got, I would say, got less than 20 minutes of pro experience, right? Like he's 16 fights technically, but probably less than 20 minutes overall. Bektemir's done more time. He's fought, I would say, better. Like his best opponent's better than Berlanga's best opponent. And the way he sets up his knockouts, he has 3 first-round knockouts, and the other one is Clay Collard was in the 4th round, and Alan Campa was in the 3rd round, right? So he kind of set it up. He dropped him multiple times before this, and Vaughn Alexander is the only guy who didn't get knocked out. And he's known for being durable, and he boxed him well.
Vaughn Alexander really did a bit before he came into boxing, right? You're talking about a guy who was in jail for a while before he came back to it. So
yeah. So Bektemir, I mean, the fight's already on BoxRec. It's kind of insane to see this kind of progression for someone this young. He's only 24 years old. He's a southpaw, 5'10" I want to say, and like a 71-inch.
It's at 5'9.5".
5'9". Yeah, that makes sense. I
guess they're counting on the fact that he shot. So I mean, well, if he's as technical as you say he is, then he probably could really beat Kovalev. Because he might have a full package. I have to look at his fights.
I'll send you one right now. You got like a Twitter or something?
No, I don't have Twitter. You could put in this
chat
or something here.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Or I could Google it. It doesn't matter. Any fight you want me to see in particular.
Yeah. I guess you can just Google. All of his fights are available online. He's a good fighter. But this is a real good fight for both guys because it's gonna, if Kovalev beats him, I think that's a good win, considering how highly touted Bektemir is, and if Bektemir beats Kovalev,
Sullivan Barrera, wasn't that fight supposed to be made?
Yeah, well, it ended up being canceled, and then today we heard news of this one. So
They must be paying him serious money to take this fight. There's no reason for Kovalev to take this.
well, it's part of his DAZN deal, right? So I think he's getting good
Okay.
money. He's getting he's getting paid like $3 million for this.
Yeah, it makes sense.
For a prospect. That's for fighting a prospect getting $3 million, that's good. He might, like I said, Bektimir's a good fighter, but
Probably won't crack 100. Probably won't crack 200,000 for this fight.
What won't?
Bektimir, his part of the he's only
I don't. I think Kovalev's definitely making way more money in this deal, but yeah, it's a really good fight because I think Kovalev's still top guy at light heavyweight, right? He'd still beat a lot of these guys. Maybe won't beat Bivol or Beterbiev, but it'll probably beat most of the other guys. So it's very impressive seeing this super middleweight prospect go up to 178, 10 pounds, giving Kovalev some room to make weight and all that stuff. So you can't really use that as an excuse. And that's gonna be a great matchup. Please check it out if you get time.
Yeah, that sounds like one fight of movement there in the division. The other fight that's he just dropped out. But the other fight that is trying to be made is Beterbiev, Joe Smith, which is probably going to be all action. That I am really looking forward to because I thought Smith's performance against Alvarez was really, really impressive.
It switched over again.
Yeah, I was saying.
Sorry, I got disconnected for some reason. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I was saying the other fight that's probably going to be the biggest for the division is they're trying to make Smith versus Beterbiev. If Smith beats Vlasov or whoever the guy is supposed to be in front of him.
Yeah. Maxim Vlasov. He's actually a former cruiserweight. Interesting.
Yeah, I know. I saw him lose to Breedis.
Yeah. He's a good fighter. But
he bounces in between cruiserweight and 175 because he was at 175, then he went up to cruiserweight. Now he's back down.
Yeah. So that's gonna be interesting. Those two for the WBO title. The winner of that for me is a clear number 3 in the division, and I'd love to see Joe. I mean, just Joe Smith is he's got a great story. He's a very, very entertaining fighter. He surpassed my expectations with the Alida Alvarez fight. I actually thought
really, really, really impressive win for him, and that was probably the only commentary I agreed with from Top Rank.
Top Rank, yeah.
It was actually really good commentary on that fight. It was really good win, and the knockout was impressive.
In typical Joe Smith Jr. fashion, bludgeoning guys, walking them down, and knocking them out of the ring.
Yeah.
And I think he's improved as a fighter as well, right? I don't think this is just like a decent run. I think he's actually improving and making strides. So I'm very interested to see that as well. I think for as bad of a year as this was overall for a lot of people, I think that the sport is in a pretty good place, and we got a lot of great fights in various divisions coming up. So I'm just excited for that, right?
Yeah. Watcher, do you have anything to put your 2 cents into? If you're there.
This year obviously has been difficult for everyone. But in terms of the sport, overall, I think we've done a good job with what we can work with. We got this freaking virus going around, and we've gotten some crowds in. We've put on some good fights. I think we were very fortunate to have the biggest heavyweight fight of the year back in February.
Not as fortunate anyway. Unfortunately, we had that.
Well, in terms of just getting the sport out there.
Yeah,
Like I know what you
matchmaking,
mean.
yeah.
Like I ride with you on that. I'm just saying, like as an overall, yes. And you know, a lot of people are coming through the division, and I think there's a lot of people coming up that will find themselves and have that potential to, you know, be in that top echelon of any division, you know. Even, you know, at the end of this year we've had some good ones. So I can't really complain too much about the sport overall. I just think it's been successful this year, you know.
Yeah, I forgot to ask IBT. How old do you think Frank Sanchez is?
Uh, he's actually one of the guys where I think his age is pretty similar to where he's at. He's probably like 30 maybe.
I think he's 37. It says
Yeah,
37, but I think there's a legit 8 or 10 years difference. He looks like a weathered 20.
I think it's
That's
just the
putting it
line.
loosely.
It's the line on his forehead. I think that's it. If you take that, if you put your thumb over that, when you look
It's
at
the
him,
wrinkles. Look at the
yeah, it's
boxer
just
picture. He actually has wrinkles.
yeah, it's just the what he like I said, he has a line on his forehead and it makes him look older. I actually genuinely, especially just his physique and the way he fights, I don't think he's I don't think he's too old. He kind of has his eyebrows up a lot. You know what I mean?
He looks seriously older than
He looks like he's about 45 years old.
If he's 45, I'd hate to know what you guys think. How
He's
old you guys
definitely
think
on the
Ortiz
long
is?
side of 30, though. I think Ortiz, though, is like about 46, 47.
I've heard famous stories of Ortiz being Jack Johnson's sparring partner when he was on the
Sure,
when
yeah.
he was on the up and coming.
He actually sparred Lennox Lewis. That's a true story. Did you know that?
That's hilarious.
He actually did spar Lennox Lewis.
I mean, Andy Ruiz has sparred Evander Holyfield.
Yeah, true. But he was like, what, 18 or 17?
Yeah, Holyfield was, I think, 40 or something. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that clip. I tell you what, Ruiz was oh my god, he was really throwing some heat in that session. It's like,
Yeah.
calm down, man. It's just sparring at the end of the day. You're sparring someone much older. But Ruiz, man, I'm here to train. I love my tacos. Anthony Joshua gave me the
I'm
opportunity.
so blessed.
I'm blessed. You know, so what is it?
Blessed.
I'm blessed, Ruiz. Deontay.
They were trying to they were shooting for Ortiz Ruiz sometime next year.
Yeah, that'd be good. That's a good
They were
fight.
shooting for that.
I love
it was
that.
supposed to be Areola versus Ruiz,
Yeah, I would love that.
and I don't know what happened to that fight.
I think Ariola should just retire. I hope that fight doesn't happen.
Yeah, he's definitely too old or is past it. But I will say though, in his return, he hasn't been beat up, like except for that
Kalnacki?
Kalnacki fight. But that Kalnacki fight was sort of back and forth. He just was behind with the punch output.
Well, funny you say that because that fight set the record
Yeah,
of most punches thrown in
For a heavyweight
Kalnacki
fight.
box history. Yeah,
Yeah.
for a heavyweight. It beat what was it? Ika Ibuchi versus. Is it Tua? No, that doesn't. It might be Tua. It might be
the president.
the president. Ika Ibuchi versus. I want to say David.
What kind of
Tua.
nickname is that?
The president? That's sick. That's a sick nickname. That's what it was. Yeah, I think it must have been that one then. Yeah. It was Abiyabuchi versus David Tua set the record for most punches thrown in heavyweight history, and then Kalnacki Ariola beat that, which is pretty funny. Just you know what I mean?
Two Jello
um,
guys. Although Areola makes Areola look like a Calvin Klein model.
I don't think either of those guys are going to be modeling for anything anytime soon.
No.
Maybe not even a fight poster. Those guys.
Well, they
Have you seen Kalnacki recently? He's wildly out of shape.
Huey Fury?
No, Kalnaki's out of shape.
Oh, right now. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Man, that guy, he loves his food. He can be a plus-size model like Aji Kabayel, who actually is a plus-size model. No lie.
God.
He's a male plus size model.
That's amazing. That's
Like
that's
female
amazing.
plus size models, he's a male plus size model. And I think he's horrible. I don't like Cabello at all.
He's decent, yeah, but that's about as far as it goes, right? Hey, Watcher, what do you think about Justice Honey?
I've not seen his fights, and
You haven't?
I don't think I will for a while.
Oh, why not?
It's very hard to support guys from here, for one. I mean, I don't even know the guy really. He's what, 2-0 or something, 1-0, but
Yeah, a tuna.
I've not seen him fight, so I'll have to wait on that.
Yeah, you should definitely check him out. I've watched both his fights and really impressive performances, both of them. I think he's already planned out his next couple fights. He already kind of has an amateur rivalry that they're gonna continue in the pros. I know he's calling out Lucas Brown soon, which is insane for someone as 2-0 and you're calling out Lucas Brown. I understand Lucas Brown isn't this amazing fighter, but he's not bad at all, and he's definitely big and experienced. So for someone as young as him, as inexperienced as him, to genuinely be seeking out a fight with that kind of fighter, right? That's impressive to me. And he's one of these prospects at heavyweight that are actually young. You know, you kind of get a lot of guys who are not they're prospects, but they're around the age of the champions right now, right? And even though they're good, you kind of have to see their development soon. Whereas Justice Honey has the next 5 years, even 5 years from now, he'll be young. He'll still be like 26, 27, maybe 27. So, yeah, if you can, check him out, man. He looks very good. I think he's still adjusting to the pros a little bit, so he's not used to going too many rounds. But just from what I've seen from him, he's a good boxer. He's got good power. He's got a good jab movement, which is pretty rare from a heavyweight. So he's also able to come forward. He seems like, for how young he is, he seems like the complete package, right? He's still obviously got some things you need to shine or add to his game, but in terms of being a 21-year-old heavyweight prospect, he's far beyond the average development. So if you get the chance, Justice Honey. Honey spelled Huni.
Yeah, I know how it's spelled. I'm just
I'm saying for anyone in the chat.
Well, that's how eager I am to find out about the guy. Like I said, you can be a good novice, but when you take the step up, we'll find out what you're about.
I mean, obviously, but I'm just saying, we're talking about prospects, right? None of these prospects are really that proven. Otherwise, you're not a prospect, you're a contender. So in terms of prospects, definitely recommend you check him out now so you don't have to play catch up later. Because that guy, just from what I can tell, he's going to be very talented. Or he's already very talented, but he's going to be very good.
We will most definitely see. We shall see about that.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Is there anything else you guys want to touch on?
I was just going to say, I appreciate you having me on and let me ramble, but I do have to go right now.
Okay, that's fine, man.
You have a good one. Peace out. Thanks for having me on, man.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll see you around.
See you too, man. Excellent. Yeah, you guys go sub to IBT. He's got a good channel. Did you want to hang around, Tyrone, or Tyrone always leaves when Tyrone is always not around when IBT is on. No. Hey. Yeah, Black Star is live now, so maybe I can jump on.
Okay. What's going on? Are you about to wrap it up? Where's IBT?
He left.
Oh man.
Yeah, we got into an argument.
You serious?
No, I'm kidding.
Hey, not that quickly.
No, he just had to go. That's all.
All right.
Thank you as well. So, did you want to hang around or?
No, I mean, what else do you have to?
I mean, Black Star has invited me.
Okay.
On his show.
I'll probably switch over to that if you're going to see that. I don't
Yeah.
much.
I'm
I don't-
gonna go on his show and support him a bit as well. So, I
Okay.
might see you there. All right, I'm heading over there right now. So,
Cool. I'll be in the chat.
all right, salute to everyone. We'll be
All
there.
right, man. Peace out. Yep. Shout out
Peace.
everybody. See ya.